To everyone, B'ezrat Hashem Mincha is going to be at 7 o'clock. Please be on time. Today is the 17th day of the Omer, which is 2 weeks and 3 days. As we were discussing the rules of Muktze, we were talking yesterday about the fact that food in general is not included in the category of Muktze, except for food that is not edible. Not edible food is in the category of Muktze and cannot be handled on Shabbat. We said that the Shulchan Aruch told us that meat and all of its forms, chicken, even haya, which is undomesticated animals that are kasher, or behema, or red meat that is kasher, all of those, even raw, is not considered to be muktze, because there are some people that eat raw meat. And Chacham Ovadia said, even in our times, where it's not so common, where there's very, very few people that eat raw meat, but since they still exist somewhere in the world, there are some people in America, there are some people in Europe, fancy restaurants that serve raw meat. Therefore, it is not in the category of muktze. What's interesting is that the Shulchan Aruch brought down from the Rambam writes that fish that is raw is considered muktze. And he says the reason is because people don't eat raw fish. If the fish was salted, or if it was maybe put in brine, so obviously if it was cooked, so then that's already considered edible. Many people eat that. But raw fish, mamash, the Shulchan Aruch says is muktze. The Ovadia brings this halacha down, and interestingly, he doesn't say, and in our times where some people eat raw fish, as is very common today, since we do have sushi, it's a common thing. It was interesting that Ovadia did not bring down that today in our times where we have raw fish, it's not called muktze. Now, it could be one of two reasons. Either Ovadia was talking about types of fish that you don't make sushi out of, and therefore those types of fish are not eaten raw by anybody, and therefore it is in the category of muktze. So maybe that's what he was referring to. Or perhaps Ovadia was dealing with the situation of like the culture in Yisrael, and in the culture of the Yisrael, it wasn't so common to have sushi, but Enachanami, he would agree that in our times where it is very common for people to have sushi, and that's a normal thing to have raw fish, it could be he would agree that the rules of Muktze do not apply to fish, just like it didn't apply in the Shulchan Aruch's time to meat as well. And therefore, any fish, any type of fish that is normal to serve as sushi as raw, is mutar to handle on Shabbat in its raw state. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.